Welcome to Channeled Inspirations, the podcast with Lisa Dooley. Take a deep breath with me and sink into this moment. Becoming present in the body, open to receive. This is something that I really need to practice a lot this morning. I woke up and spent about an hour and a half still in bed, just on social media, which is not very different from most mornings. This is not the best practice, but it is something that happens. It's part of life, and I try to just let myself do what I feel. I try not to be hard on myself for how I start my days, even though I have started my days in better ways. I know there are more sacred ways to start my day. I can start my day with a deeper connection, but sometimes this is how I start my day, and by sometimes I mean most of the time. And now, as I am starting to sink into the day, I'm becoming more present in my body. I'm grounding in. I am breathing deeply to call myself here and now, because through scrolling on social media, it's very easy to get distracted. It's very easy to forget about the presence required. And you know what? I don't want to say required, because presence isn't required. Presence is just preferred. So it's very easy when scrolling on social media to get caught up in that. And as I am disconnecting, as I am reconnecting to the earth and my body and this day, I am thinking back to one of the dreams I had last night. And I actually had two that I remember that are very vivid. And dreams are very interesting. I believe them to be portals into our deep, deep, deep self. Portals into the things that our conscious mind hasn't yet come to terms with. Our conscious mind can't quite grasp yet. So our subconscious mind plays it out in our dreams so that our soul can begin to heal these things. And I'll share with you the dream that I feel holds the most transformation within, the dream that holds the most healing available. And this is a little bit of a vulnerable dream. I was vulnerable in the dream. I'm vulnerable sharing the dream, especially because I have processed it. I do understand what it means, but I haven't fully seen the whole picture of this. And through speaking about it, I feel that I will begin to unfold and uncover more of what this means and more of how I can use this dream as a signpost and a signal for deeper healing. So the dream started, I was in what seemed to be a bar of sorts, and there was an owner or a manager who I was talking with, and in the dream, I wasn't alone. I didn't go to the bar alone, but I was talking to this man alone. There wasn't anybody else involved in the conversation. And See, it's hard also to put dreams into words because like I don't remember it, but at the same time I do. I can close my eyes and go back there. So I'm doing my best. I was talking to this man, and for some reason he invited me into the basement to see something, and he was saying, this isn't the first time we've met. We've been here before. And in my essence, in everything in me, I felt this pull, like, don't go into the basement with this man. Do not do it. That's not a smart move. That's not in your highest good. I felt it, and I ignored it. So in the dream, I followed the man into this basement, and the basement was actually kind of interesting because there was one set of stairs that we took down. And then when we got to the landing, there was a door that we walked through, and then there was another set of stairs on the left that went up, but those weren't the stairs we came down. And on the stairs that went up, the ones that we did not come down, there were a bunch of pictures on the wall. And he showed me a picture of me, and I was with 2 or 3 girlfriends. It was a picture of me and these girlfriends and him. And the picture, I want to say, was from 2014. That's just the year that's coming to me. I don't know. It didn't say the year on the picture, but that's what I want to say it was from. How old would I have been in 2014? 23? Okay, so 23-year-old me, 2 girlfriends, and this gentleman. He shows me this picture, and I remember in my dream I'm saying, wow, that's crazy. I don't remember this. It's such a small world. Everything comes full circle. I can't believe it. And in the dream, I remember looking at the picture and thinking like it was a picture of a random night. It was a random occurrence. It was a random meeting. It wasn't planned. We didn't know each other. I just remember being like, wow, who would have thought that years ago I randomly ran into this person, took a picture, he kept it for years. It was strange. And I remember sitting on the stairs looking at this picture, looking at the door we walked through, and feeling like I need to get out of here. And I hung the picture back on the wall where it was. And again, I remember thinking like, okay, I need to walk through that door. That's all I need to do. And he closed the door. And then I remember thinking, oh shit. So then he was coming on to me, trying to kiss me. And in my dream, I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't think we should be doing this. There was almost a dichotomy. There was a part of me that wanted to give in and just be like, okay, yeah, let's do this. But then there was another part of me that was like, this is not what I should be doing. This is not where I'm meant to be. This is not what's supposed to be happening. I need to get out of here. And even in the way I said no to him, it was wishy-washy. It was a wishy-washy no. It was a no where it was like, maybe, no. Maybe, no. Like, let me go in a little bit, let me pull back. Go in a little bit, pull back. Go in a little bit, pull back. And when I finally just was like, no, I don't think so, like, no, that's when things got really weird. And this is when the dream starts getting a little jumpy, because I don't remember every single step or aspect. But I remember being stuck in this basement. And it was a big ass basement. It wasn't like a normal basement to a house. It was like a built complex underground, like a bunker type basement. And I was stuck there. And then the next thing I remember, I was grabbing something, and hitting this guy over the head with it, trying to escape. And then there was a lot of running, and there were a lot of people in the basement with me. So it wasn't just me and this one guy. It was me, and there were a lot of men, and I think there were other women there too. But the focus was really on me fighting, essentially fighting the men, trying to escape. And I feel like in this dream, although I don't have a cognitive memory of it, I do feel like before I was fighting to escape, I do feel like I was taken advantage of. I do feel as though I was raped. And that's actually hard to say. But I do feel that that's what happened in this dream. So then I have found, like, it was like this long pipe almost, and it was awkward to wield. It was an awkward weapon to hold. And I remember I kind of like hit this guy in the head or threw it or something, and it was the head honcho. And that was not the same guy that took me into the basement. It was like his boss. And I don't remember exactly what happened after that. I know there was like some running. I know there was some fighting. And I wish I could remember fully the next steps, but I don't. I remember waking up just like that, you know, that feeling when you're half awake, you're out of the dream, but you really remember it. You're not fully awake, but you're not asleep. I came to that state, and I remember I had the conscious thought of like, oof, whoa, that was a dream. And I fell back asleep. And I ended up having my second dream, which kind of feels like a continuation, but a very, like, on a different page. My second dream, I ended up home. I was home. And my phone wasn't with me. My phone was in my room. I was in the living room. And I walked into my room to get my phone. I looked out the window. I saw my friend driving away in this bright-ass red car. Mind you, in real life, she does not drive a bright-ass red car, but in my dream, she did. And I had some missed calls from her. She was driving to the airport to go pick somebody up. And I missed it. I just remember feeling like I missed it. Henry's barking in the background, but I'm in a state of remembering right now, so I feel it's very important to remain within this state. So my friend in the bright red car drives away, and I felt like I missed it. And I know her and I spoke on the phone, and life went on. Eventually the dream was over. I woke up. Here I am. And now I'm really reflecting on these dreams and processing them because, like I said, dreams are deep healing. Dreams are us tapping into alternative realities, us tapping into different frequencies that we exist in. Because I have news for you. We don't just exist here. We're multidimensional beings. There are infinite possibilities that we're playing out. In our dreams, we're tapping into some of those different possibilities. We're tapping into those different healing frequencies that are taking place on a soul level in different realities where our consciousness doesn't typically reside. So looking at that, thinking about it now, I feel like that was a representation, that was a reality in which the toxic masculinity of myself is overpowering my feminine. I tapped into a reality where the masculine within me was taking over, where I was allowing the masculine to take over and dismissing the feminine, not allowing her to speak her truth, not allowing her to say her sacred no loud and proud. And it represented that lack of balance between masculine and feminine. And the fact that I, on a soul level, across all lifetimes, realities, and dimensions, am beginning to reclaim my divine feminine, reclaim her, allow her to fully embody her sacred power and use it for her benefit, allow her to save herself. And there's a part of me that must feel like I missed the boat, and part of me that feels like I'm late to the game, a part of me that feels like it's just not enough. But I know consciously, I know that's not true. I know everything's in divine timing. But these things came up from my soul for me to acknowledge, for me to accept, for me to recognize, and for me to integrate. It's no surprise to me that in another reality, in this dream version of Lisa, there was a power struggle between the feminine and the masculine. Because in my real life, in my reality now, I am consciously reclaiming my divine feminine. I am bringing her fully online and allowing her to lead the way, which is a practice in and of itself. I have a lot of masculine energy. I do. It's a part of me, but it's also a part of me that I've been conditioned to be. It's a part of me that I have become in order for myself to feel safe, in order for myself to feel in control. But I am rectifying that balance now in this lifetime, and clearly I am doing that in others. So as I breathe deeply, connect to my heart, feel into my body, and allow any emotions to process, to come up, to be felt, I know I'm doing the deep inner healing work of my soul. The work that my soul is asking for. Because if it wasn't asking for it, that dream wouldn't have come to me. That dream wouldn't have come into my consciousness. I wouldn't have remembered it the way that I do. I wouldn't have had such a visceral reaction. I wouldn't have had it if it wasn't meant, if it wasn't for purpose. So I'm sharing this not only to help me process it, but also to inspire you to reflect on the dreams that you have, to reflect on the way that you start your day, and to remember to drop into your heart and drop into your body. Be present and feel all that's available for you. The healing is infinite.